Hello everyone. So in this video, I am going to explain you what, how we write the test case, what, why we write the test case, and what are the important things we should always focus while designing our test case. So the first of all, what is exactly the test case? What is test case? So the test case is a step-by-step procedure to validate what my requirement is saying, what the user requirement is explained in the requirement document or the SRS or the BRD. So the test case, we can say that is a step by step process to evaluate that whatever the developer has been developed is meeting the requirement or not. So we can say that test case is a step by step process test objective or test description. So here again there are two terms comes, that what is test objective and what is test description. So the test objective or test description is nothing just like what we are exactly going to validate. We describe those things in our test objective or test description. Just if I ask you to write an essay of write an essay on horse, so you start visualizing something, an animal which look like a horse or a horse. So this is the thing for the test objective. After analyzing the requirement, we visualize that what exactly we need to test. So now if I say I have to write a test case to evaluate that, assume that there is a application, is a calculator. So I want to evaluate that, is that calculator is giving me correct result when we add two numbers, right? So this is my objective, to test a calculator functionality, that is this giving me the correct result when I add two numbers. So let's see how we draw the test cases or how we design our test cases. So I'm giving some sequence at here, and let's say I'm giving this name as a test case ID. Then what I need to test. So for that I write test description, or I say test objective. What I need to test, we will write it under test description column. Then precondition. It means that to test, uh, you can say that in precondition, to achieve those steps, is there any prerequisite required? So we will mention it that in precondition. Then coming to the next thing, a step number, and then input and expected. So the input is something like user activity, what user has been done on the app, what user will do in the application. Based on that, that user can achieve whatever he has been written in the test objective. So let's see how we draw it. Now if I say that I want to add two number in a calculator and want to check that calculator plus functionality is giving me the correct result or not. So how we define the test description? Make it some cosmetic thing. So this is my test description. Test to verify that calculator result when should display the correct result when add or sum two number which I want to test. Now precondition I can write here, calculator should open. That calculator application should be open. So now coming to input, what the user will perform, what activity user will perform on the application, we will write in the input steps. So here I'm writing click on to, and based on this activity what the calculator screen will display, that is my expected thing. So when I click on 2, the result pane should display 2. So that is my expected thing. So I have mentioned those that expected in the expected column. So now to add two number, what activity we are going to perform? First, I'm clicking on 2, then I'll click on plus, then I click on, let's say 5, then I click on, after 5, then I click on percent equal to, right? So we have taken these steps to check the sum of two numbers. So now plus calculator result pane should display 2. Now if I click on 5, so the calculator result pane should display 5, and when I click on equal to, display 7. Now remove these things, and these are my steps that if I'm adding 2 plus 5 and if result is giving me 7, so now my objective has been achieved. I achieved my this objective or test description. So my test case will be ended here. And in a step number, I will write simply step 1, step 2, fine. So this way, and under test case ID, I'll write, give a unique name or unique number for the sequencing purpose. So I given this way and do some cosmetic thing at here, fine. So here my test case is complete. To achieve this objective, user will do this, user will perform this activity, or user will provide these inputs, and based on the provided input, what the system will behave, how the calculator application will behave, you can see it here. So this is the complete test case. So now if I see that in my test case, so let me first mark something, it will help you to understand. If you see in this test case, so the everywhere I have been used should word, no, will, shall, may, like that. So this is the thumb rule one. For designing a test case, you have to always use should word in your test objective, in your precondition, in your expected result. And especially in test description or test objective and expected result, always you have to use should word. Otherwise, your test case will be wrong. This is the one thumb rule. The second thumb rule for designing the test case, no two description can be same. So let's say if I want to add two number again, so I give a unique, and if I want to add, so for that purpose, let me copy this, and I want to add two numbers. So in that scenario, this one and this one will be the same, which is again incorrect. It means repetition of the same test case. So what you have to carefully change some part of the description or test objective. So I am doing the same thing, I am tweaking something. Here I have mentioned when add or some two numbers. Here I am just going to add when add or sum two even number. So the objective has been changed a little bit. So this is correct. Here I am checking just two number, or and here I am just checking even number only. So let me change the input step. So now see, my this test case is complete now. So these two thumb rule you have to always follow, that in everywhere in my test case will, should word must come in test objective, precondition, or in expected result. But always in the test description and expected result will have should word. So now coming to another part. This template is not exactly what the test case template is. Here I have mentioned you can use this template as well for all your projects. But again, to verify the some of the things that are we covering all the requirement in my test case, we add some more columns in our test case. So what are those? First thing, I'm going to add which requirement it is going to be covered. This test case is covering which requirement number covered. So here I can write, let's say this is my requirement number 10. So I will write 10, and this is my requirement number. This is also 10 because we are going to validate the uh, sum of two numbers. So the both the requirement for 10 requirement ID, let me change it, requirement ID cover. So for both the test case is covering one requirement ID. This is correct. It doesn't mean that for one requirement there is only one test case. You can write multiple test case for one requirement, but those test case should not be repeated test case, should not be duplicate. So this is the one column we have added. Again, I'm going to add here actual result. When we execute our test case, then we will see what is exactly my system is showing. So at that time, we mention what the expected actual result, what it means. When I perform these activity on the calculator, then what my calculator is showing, that is a runtime. So that is called actual result. So if that actual result is equal to this one expected, then here simply we write as expected. And if there is some mismatch, that actual is not meeting with that expected result, let me do some. So here I will write what exactly my system is showing. So let's say if I uh, execute, if I run this, if I provide this input on the calculator, so calculator is showing something else. Let's say uh, let's say 2 plus. So it means that this and this is not met, and what exactly my actual result is showing the calculator, we simply write it here. We will not write that calculator result pane is not displaying 2. We will simply write what exactly it is displaying, right? So once this and this is mismatched, then we say that my this test case is fail, and this step is my pass. So once my, so here I can say that result or test status. So my test status is pass or fail. So there are 4 steps in this test case. But once we get a fail, at that point of time, we are not going to execute these 2 steps. We simply mark this test case is a fail. And once the test case is fail, then what we'll do, we will open our bug tracking tool and log a bug. and then we can mention here bug id. What bug id? Let's say suppose 258 is my bug id. So I will mention the bug id for here for the tracking purpose, and but this bug id is always mentioned. A bug we always mention, we use, almost all the organization are using some bug tracking tool, because there are plenty of bug tracking tool available in the market. Some are the open source, some are the paid tool. So if my budget is not so much, so I can go for the open source, and that might Bugzilla, Mantis. There are various open source tools, and that bug ID is automated generated by the bug tracking tool. So whatever the bug ID has been generated, we will mention, we can write it here to further tracking purpose. So this way we design our test case. And here whatever I have written to, this is called, sorry, not the, here in input steps, whatever I have written, this number is called test data. That what test data I am using to evaluate my this requirement statement or description. This description or test objective always be derived from the SRS or the requirement statement. We are not deriving by our own. This always comes from the requirement statement. Input, we provide whatever to achieve this objective or description. And once we get the application or build, we provide input on the application, whatever we have written at here, and based on that, we check that application behavior. If my application behavior is meeting with this one, then we say that my test case is passed. So the expected result also comes from the requirement. So this is mostly asked in the interview, that how you derive the expected result. So the expected result always derived from the requirement statement. So the again question, how we define the test objective. Test objective is a functional decomposition of the requirement statement. To achieve that requirement statement, we decompose the requirement statement in different functionality, or functional and UI part, or the UI part. It may be let's say that if I say the calculator application, then in calculator application there are something like the UI button of the UI of the buttons, 1, 2, 3 numeric buttons, and the arithmetic operators. So that is the UI part of the application. The functional part is what the application is showing in the result after performing some activity. So you can derive test objective from the requirement, expected result from the requirement. So this is all about the test case, designing the test case. Okay guys, hope it is clear to you now how to design the test case. Fine, thank you. I will also share you one of the application SRS or the BRD document to do the practice on how to design the test cases, how to identify the objective description, and how to write the expected result, and all the things. That's enough for today's session. Thank you.